Welcome back to Myst. So, surprise bonus episode. They went and updated the Myst remake to have Rime in it, which was the bonus age, which I didn't do any research here, so I don't remember, but I think was also a bonus age in the original Myst. In that not only do you have to beat the game first to get it, to get the ending, essentially, but I think it was added in like a future version of the game, or maybe even in real Myst or something, and maybe wasn't in the original. I don't know. I think it was a bonus type thing in some format originally. But yeah, apparently at some point after I covered Myst, they added it to the game, which is wild because I played the Myst remake way after it came out. Like, I was so late to the game. So the fact that an update still happened after that point is kind of wild. I think that they might have added Rime to the game after they made Riven, the remake of Riven, which was really good, by the way, if you haven't watched it or played it. This was mostly just a one-for-one remake of Myst with some tweaks everywhere, but, like, mostly the same thing. Riven is like a proper, like, reinterpretation of Riven. So it's actually worth playing even if you played the original, because you get to, like, not just for nostalgic reasons, because you get a genuine new game to play. So shout out to Riven, really cool game, one of my favorite games I've played in a while, the Riven remake. So just wanted to signal boost that a little bit. But anyway, we're back in the Myst remake, which we thought we were done with, but all this time later they added the missing age that was a post-story one the first time around too. Is this where it is? Okay. Gotta remind myself how any of the controls work here too. My friend, now that you have seen the destruction wrought by Cirrus and Achenar, you no doubt have a very specific idea of who they were. Greedy, envious, hateful men. But there is one more page to turn, one last age, where I hope you might see them as I did. As my sons. Atreus. Rime, Volume 1. Rime, I have named it. A desolate age with a beauty that is quite different than I had expected or imagined. The intricate feathers of ice that fall from the sky are awe-inspiring. I feel as though I could sit and watch them for hours. And though it is cold here, like I have never experienced before, I find myself enjoying the change of temperature, for it is unlike any other place that I have ever seen. Perhaps the oddest thing is the silence. A slightly jarring turn page. Just like slaps right into your face. You're like, ugh! Although the wind blows on occasion, when it ceases, there is a suffocating silence that falls on this place, broken only by the distant cries of unseen creatures. I have visited 3 times, and am sure now that this age will provide the environment I need. I believe the cold temperature is crucial for obtaining the necessary refraction of light. Examining the structure of the books is ever more perplexing, but I am driven onward by my need to understand. The great tree of possibilities can never be fully grasped, but I must at least try to find one particular branch. Of course, the chance of using a blank linking book to find one specific age amongst the infinite variations that must exist is infinitesimal, like searching for a specific grain of sand on the beach. The only workable solution is to focus the connection of a damaged, unusable linking book. Perhaps I can bridge this much smaller gap. On the subject of enlightenment, I would also like to find the cause of the mysterious lights, the shine, in the darkness here. Let's see. Chance of finding a specific book via linking, a specific age via linking book is infinitesimal. Yeah, you'd have to just perfectly write it correctly. Especially since I'm still of the theory that the linking books don't connect to an existing age. I mean, they could connect to an existing age if it already exists, but I still think they create them. Though I never assumed that I would be able to build, especially fast here, the speed at which I am progressing is somewhat disappointing. I do think I will bring Cirrus and Achenar as well as some of the machinery from Selenitic. Achenar chose to stay with Catherine, and while Cirrus was unhappy about the prospect of exploring a new age without his brother, he was still excited to come. He has spent the last few days here with me, helping me with the beginning phases of construction. He too seems to enjoy the ice and cold weather. He is intrigued with the crystals that have brought him with us. He has been a big help, as have others, and I hope to be able to begin my experiments here soon. Tonight, Cirrus and I found a wondrous spot to view the lights, although it seemed they decided to hide from us. After sitting in the cold winds for over 2 hours, we saw nothing. It was rather disappointing. Cirrus will return to Myst tomorrow. He has been a tremendous aid to me, and I'm thankful for his willingness to help. He is excited to tell Akinar about his adventures, and it's clear to me how much he has missed his brother's company. The hard part of the construction is over, although I've decided, after tonight, that I would like to add some kind of observation post. I won't be finished as soon as I had hoped, although I am fairly certain it will be worth the delay in the long run. I decided to take a break from the construction, now that the tunnel is almost complete. I am quite convinced that the right refraction, certain properties of the ink can be simulated. When I try to explain my theory to Catherine, she laughs and tells me I am trying to hold infinity in a bottle. She laughs, and I laugh. Maybe she is right, but I must try regardless. I came too close to success on Everdunes. Besides, if all that comes from this effort is time spent with my sons, it will have been worthwhile. I am fairly certain now that temperature indeed does have an effect on the refractive properties of the crystals, but I have realized that temperature alone is not enough. Each crystal responds differently to the lower temperatures, and controlling the particulars is proving challenging. Perhaps focusing on another, more attainable goal in the short term will help. I should finish the shaft to my observation post while I have the machinery here, perhaps tomorrow morning. The lights were beautiful again last night. They had not shown themselves for so long that I had almost forgotten their beauty. I still must find the cause. I am feeling rather overwhelmed with what remains to be done. I have made no progress on the crystals. The shaft is not finished, nor is the observation post, or even the lab. I have not seen Catherine for some time, and I long to spend more time with Akinar and Cirrus. Besides all of that, there are, far away, in the back of my mind, the thoughts of my people and our lost city. Those are not very easy commas to see, with some of the long tails and other words. I dreamt again of them last night. My people and our lost city. Interesting. You've never met them before, I don't think. I guess it depends on when... That depends on when one of the books happened. In all of Myst and Riven and... Well, Riven hasn't even happened yet. But in all of Myst and the prequel books, Cirrus, the first prequel book, Atreus has not met anyone from Denis, except his father and his grandma. But the third book, I think it is, the one that's about Atreus also and Catherine. I don't remember if that's before or after Myst, actually. And that has all sorts of characters in it. I have seen the city in its worst condition, and still, its beauty overwhelmed me. Even now, as I visualize how majestic it must have been before the destruction caused by Veovis and Agarus, it amazes me, it saddens me. I am certain that Denis is not dead, as my father believed. I am convinced there must be some who managed to escape the destruction, and even now continue to survive in separate ages. Within me is an urging to take the chance and return to Denis, to find these survivors and properly rebuild our city. Right, that's the plot of that book, is that they're trying to investigate linking books that are found throughout the city to see if survivors fled into them and couldn't get back out. Which is dangerous because you don't know what's on the other side in some cases, if you'll even survive going through the door. However, I can do nothing until I am certain of the fate of my father. If my plan failed, if I missed a single book when attempting to trap him in Riven, then he has been free all along. If that is true, then all that stands between him and the ages I have now written is the link from Denis to Myst. As much as I wish to return to Denis, without knowing the fate of my father, I cannot risk re-establishing that link. I must observe my father without re-establishing that link. It has been several years, and there have been many dead ends, but the solution is out there somewhere. I know it. At least I hope. Catherine will have her ideas about all these things, and I miss her greatly. I will return to Rime later, when my mind has cleared. To some extent, it's slightly funny, because his father is just a guy. You can, in fact, kick his entire ass if you just prepare for it. So I just kind of find that, a little bit funny on some level. What's my thought process? It definitely feels like they could come up with some kind of fail-safe for having a linking book in Denis, or around Denis, because I think it's like in New Mexico and Arizona or something like that, although I don't know if they knew that yet in the story. I mean, Atreus would have to know that, because he grew up on Earth, but I don't know if the Rand brothers knew that yet about their own story. They would have around now, actually. I'm trying to remember if you find out they're on Earth in the Book of Atreus, or if it's just some desert that's above the city of Denis. I don't remember. It's definitely established in Uru that you are just in the American desert in New Mexico or Arizona. I forget which one. And by then you're like, oh, we're just on Earth? Weird. Little did Gen know all along, but he could have just jumped in the fissure if he wanted to get out of Riven, and that would have been really bad news for Atreus, because apparently we jump in the fissure at the end of Riven, which feels suicidal, but apparently we survive, and we land roughly at in what is like the first level of Uru, that desert area, which is also the setting of the beginning of the Book of Atreus. It's his grandmother's garden and crevice. They don't use that word. They use a different word for that. The cleft? I don't remember. 2735. That's clear. Oh, is that for the hologram? I thought that was the Steam logo for a second there. I'll return to Rime later, when my mind is cleared. Okay. Rime Volume 1. Channelwood, the stone ship. I forgot that this is how the library is organized. Huh. I haven't been in here for a while. I think that was the hologram down here. I don't remember Rime, like, at all from playing the original. I always want to say the original Myst. I've never played the original Myst. Well, I played it a little bit on my grandparents' computer and didn't make it very far. But I did a playthrough of Real Myst, which is the 3D one, which some people like and some people don't like, and there are opinions about that. Maybe I'll play the original one in a few years when I've forgotten the layout of the game again and can somewhat solve it from scratch again. Oh god, the 3D model.
It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Achenar. But I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. I should have known not to have left my library unchecked for so long.
That's not a 4-digit number at all.
I've removed the remaining
Can't distract with that.
from the library and placed them in the places.
Shit. How do I do this? I also don't remember if Rime had puzzles. I vaguely have this, like, lingering thing at the back of my mind that Rime was actually less of a puzzle thing. Maybe I pressed it twice by accident? I think this was the entryway to one of the other ages. This seems to be a puzzle, though. Oh, wait, no, is that the... Oh, 40. Then 2735. Set the other thing to 40, because not that thing. Yeah, it is the hologram. I really should have taken a screenshot on Steam. There are various reasons why that would be a good idea. Do 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 do. Okay. Okay. Where's that sound coming from? Oh, okay, now I press the second button. Oh god. Oh, the controls for this are weird. Oh, goodness, okay. What? Ah! Oh, this sucks. This weirdly sucks. Huh. Okay, well clearly I've made a mistake by not screenshotting that journal. Because if only you could take it with you. I saw that diagram. I didn't think that was going to be an input that I had to keep track of. Whoops. I thought I was going to be at the password part. Is it F12? There it is. It looks like you make it point upward. And then you do 2735 somehow. On the back one? Yeah, I want to say that they added this to the game like 4 years after it came out or something. Like that's crazy. After a certain amount of time, you'd almost think like, who's keeping an eye on this thing and wondering about that. You press that, and you press that, and you press that. That happens. Then I make this go up, face upward. What am I not getting here? So look at my pictures. And I can switch to display capture to show it. There we go. So the thing slides down. There's one curvy thing which I can rotate. I made it go up. And then there's this thing with the mountain. And then there's a button on the back. It says 2735. What am I missing about this? Am I being a dumb? Am I being a dumb somehow? Is there some other thing I can put a number into? Stop taunting me with your high fidelity orchestra. It's like, why is there four... Oh, the mouse moves weird. Okay, why is there 4 slots? Why does it look like the Steam logo? And why does this one part rotate, but nothing else seems to happen? Okay, this might be something. That's the Cyan logo, right? Is that what they're going to... It does look like the Cyan logo. Like, if it's right. No? Bro. I'm not getting it. Okay. We have a 4-digit number to put in somewhere. I think this might be a casualty of trying to play the expansion to a game where it's designed for you to play it right after you beat the game. But of course they added it years later, so I already have a completed save file, and I'm not fresh in my memory about how the whole place is laid out. That's 3 digits. Cause yeah, if you're all in escape room mode, then like you would recognize how many buttons it's got, how many digits it has, and probably be like, oh, that's, you put that in this part of the game. That's the levers. When it's no longer fresh, you're probably in some trouble, where you're like, oh god. Huh. That's technically 4 digits, but I don't think that's gonna count. That's like about power balancing. And there's also pretty limited and specific inputs for it. I don't think they want me to set the power to that amount, because it's not really a code. That's one of those things where they try to make it make sense in system. Okay, that's weird. There's like a path leading to a dead end, which has kind of a crevice around it. And after that's just the rocket ship, which I believe just has piano. Yeah, it's not really a piano thing. Oh. 4 dots. The Steam logo, it's this thingy. Okay, so make it point into the acute angle. Is that what's going on? That's fun. That's what the shape of the bridge is. The rocket ship. I probably want to make it face down. God, it really has terrible mouse controls. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, here we go. Yep. Okay, that actually made sense. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, you can see inside. Is there anything on this side? Don't think so. Okay, so I need to make it face a bit of a more of an odd angle, so it allows me in there. Here I'm all like, it looks like the Cyan logo. That could be intentional or could be unintentional. It's a pretty simple shape. So it's not a lot to go on. And here I was worried I might not have enough content for one episode. Like a full episode. There we go. Hopefully I did it at the right angle. You won't believe how many times I can run up and down Myst Island. Okay, now there's space for here. $27. 35, I think it was. Cool. Oh. Rime. And away we go. That's probably not even the real quote. All right, and we're in the Arctic place. Rime. Oh, it's the ceiling above me. Okay, we're in a little cave. Yeah. Interesting that the geography around the transition matches on the two islands. That's a bit surreal. Man, my memory is always so iffy about Myst, the first game in particular, that I just don't remember Rime very much at all, so I won't really be able to compare it very much. But like, the thing about Myst 1 is that it really is a beat it in a single afternoon kind of game. They're very short games. Games being the plural remakes of it. Whereas Riven and so on are much more of an undertaking. But I've beaten every Myst game in a single sitting. Not all the Myst, you know what I mean. The ones that are called Myst 1. All the versions of Myst I've beaten in one sitting. Each. Uh-huh. So it appears I should be able to drop a ladder down. Everything's all iced over in here. Oh, hello. Ah. Very iced over, I guess. So I need to figure out how to heat this place up. So this furnace needs to be on, basically. Can't crouch or anything, right? Okay. So there's something that I can put in this furnace to power it. And then this whole place will heat up. Then I can drop the ladder and maybe even open that door. That might do it actually. No. No, it does not. Those are its only settings. It's probably that it's not actually getting anything from its source. So what's out here? Oh. Furnace down there. Wow, that was not visually apparent at all. But you're definitely meant to come out here and check this out and be curious about the lights we've heard about, and then turn around and be like, "Oh, that's a fun moment." Oh, there's like whales. Cries of distant creatures. They love to do that trick where you walk in, have limited information, turn around, realize new thing. I don't think this is a lawnmower situation where you just gotta try harder. It's got pipes going down into the water? What are my verbs here? Like, what can I interact with? Hmm. So we have a generator that doesn't want to start, which we need to power a furnace. Let's backtrack just in case I went past something. Since them having me see the furnace that way kind of establishes the idea that stuff could be behind me that I didn't notice on the way in. But who knows if they're going for that or not. It's very dark. It's not just you. It's me too. Seems I'm trapped here too until I figure out how to get out. Which is a little terrifying. I guess the implication has to be that Atreus has access to this age, has access to Myst again ever since I linked him back there. I guess we knew that. Yeah. He just never leaves because they'd have to then create more assets probably of him being there. So he just sits there sitting there. He just sits there and keeps working on his Riven book and never actually leaves. Any tools? You don't really get to have an inventory in Myst games. That's kind of the point. In fact, I have played a game called Nia more recently, which tries very hard to be Riven. And you might, if you're a fan of these games, you might be very interested to find that there's a game that tries very hard to recreate Riven. It's a very high-effort fan game called Nia, N-E-Y-I-A-H. But one of its fatal flaws, in my opinion, is the fact that it has an inventory. And it's like, so much of what works about Myst is the fact that it doesn't have a whole Monkey Island inventory of nonsense items that you have to mash together. You're supposed to figure out, like, how the people lived here and, like, what's going on with their devices and what you need to change about that stuff. Oh, this opens. Okay, well, that makes way more sense. Okay, what's up with this thing? Is red bad? Oh, it keeps like, it's feeding fuel into it, isn't it? There we go. That's what I was missing. I didn't see that there was any kind of like handle on that thing. I need to make sure you go all the way in. Then I guess there's a time limit on how long this will work. Based on what's probably diminishing fuel. I want to close these doors so the heat fills this room up. Oh yeah, it's definitely changing color in here. That's fun. That was a cool effect. Oh wow, that's an elaborate ladder. I wonder why they felt the need to have a security ladder though on a place like this. What's going on there? Alright, so we have a time limit, but it's not a very bad one, because I can just go right back out there and reset it, obviously. It's the whales. And their travel patterns, or the currents, maybe? Oops, didn't read it. Property of Cirrus. May 23rd. It's very exciting to see one of the Father's ages so soon after he completes it. Usually he makes us wait so long before allowing us to visit. He told me Rime would be cold, but I was still completely surprised by just how much breathing in the air, just how much breathing in the air hurt. Father gave me this journal for my Rime observations. He said that Akinar would also get one when he visits, and not to spoil the surprise. I hope I can convince my brother to come next time. Now that I'm more used to the cold, I can see how beautiful this place is. Father's skill with the art is amazing. Father explained his theories about the Everdune crystals today. He wants to try to build a machine to view ages without linking to them. He hopes that the crystals will refract light through the linking panels and show us what's on the other side. It sounds impossible, but I know we can figure it out. Sounds impossible, but I know we can figure it out. I don't know if it's either possible or it's not. That would obviously be very useful, yeah, because then they could go throughout Denis and investigate whether or not each book has people in it or is safe and so on before they send somebody in, and they might just die. They might just die. Because there's so many books in the Denis library since they made all of the linking books that there's like a 0% chance you'd survive checking all of them. Even a whole crew of people would just all die one by one, like in season 2 of Peacemaker. Was it Peacemaker? Peace something? I think it's called Peacemaker. I've begun my experiments on the crystals. Father asked me to find a way to control how much each crystal refracts light. He even gave me my own workspace, just like his. I'll start by leaving each crystal out in the cold for different lengths of time to see if the different temperature changes anything. I can solve this. I know it. Father asked me to return home to Myst. I hope it's not because I'm distracting him. I know I have a lot of questions, but he asked me to do these experiments. I just want to keep trying to figure it out. Akinar decided to join me this time. Watching his shock at the cold was very amusing. Father has built more dwelling space, and now we have a wonderful spot to view the lights. He asked us to help him finish the construction, but soon I will return to my crystal experiments. I've come up with some new ideas while away that I'm excited to test. I'm not having much success with the crystals. The amount of refraction is always changing. I can't seem to get a constant reading. It's very frustrating. But I realized something. I think Father's approach might be wrong. There's just no way to get reliable refraction from these crystals like this. I think I have an idea to solve it, but I don't know how to bring it up. I don't want to sound foolish to Father. Maybe he knows best, but I just don't see things like he does. Is it because he wears glasses? Akinar encouraged me to tell Father about my idea, so at last I did. He called it brilliant. He started working with Akinar to build a machine to cut the crystal straight away. It's nice to see my ideas accepted so quickly without being told they're unworkable or unsound. We're back from Myst again. It was a nice break from all the snow and ice. Father asked us to return to Rime without him, which he only does when he needs to talk to Mother about something serious. Why can't they just say what they want in front of me? I'm not a child anymore. When I'm grown and have sons of my own, I won't ever hide serious things from them. That's a brave claim right up until you have sons. I don't know what their age is in this scene, obviously. We finally saw the whales tonight. We hear their song once in a while, but they've never come close enough for us to see until now. From the big cliff behind the observation tower, we saw a massive whale appear in the cove, followed by 2 smaller ones. Father said that there were 3 of them, just like us. Then he laughed and called us his little whale calves. Is that how you spell that? I guess that is the plural, is with a V, yeah, because calf with an F is singular. Which got a groan from me, and a handful of snow from Akinar. I wanted to stay out and keep watching, but Father lectured me about how it was too dangerous to be there alone. I protested, but he just gave me that sad look. That means let it go. Fine, I'll just wait until later tonight, then go back. I'm so sorry, Father and Mother. If I die, I'm so sorry. How much did he fuck up? My brother bandaged me up and said that my thick skull protected me. But if I know it could have been a lot worse if he hadn't found me. Akinar, thank you, and I'm sorry. I've been working with Father for a few days now, but I've been too tired to write. I keep needing to take breaks to sit and rest because my side still aches quite a lot. Akinar keeps giving me looks, but I'll be okay. I want to see this to the end. We're very close to completing the crystal imager, but I'm really nervous. What if it doesn't work? What will we have to start all... will we have to start it all over again? It sounds like we'll find out tomorrow. It works. We saw Myst Island. We're even able to see Stone Ship. by adjusting the lenses. I can't believe it. My brother and I keep going back and forth between books, reading out the lens settings and viewing each age over and over again as if it were a game. Father seems more relieved that it works, that the work is finally completed. I'm sure he misses mother too. I can't wait to return home and tell her what I did. What we did. Okay. Yellow or orange, it's kind of hard to tell. Is 10 and those symbols. We have 4 colors that correlate to 4 circle shapes, which correlate to 4 numbers. That'll likely matter. It's interesting that they take the approach of framing Sirius as so innocent and so on. Obviously, he endangers himself. But yeah, he's clearly young, and he's like, Father's always keeping things from us. He's always telling us what to do. And then he goes and almost dies the moment he disobeys their orders. It's like, yeah, it turns out you need to be safe, and parents are watching out for you, even if it feels like they're lying to you or just not telling you things or arbitrarily limiting you. That is their goal. But based on my read of how the characters work, I kind of keep expecting it all to seem more overtly negligent than it seems. Just because it definitely feels like the premise of Sirius and Achenar is supposed to be a generational trauma thing, where Gen was such a piece of shit father who abandoned and then mistreated Atreus and was just abusive in general, that you definitely expect to hear that Atreus was just not a very good father either. It's in a way that would be characterized as abuse, but not in the like violent or angry way. It's more like the abuse through neglect or not being there for the emotional needs of your kid. You definitely expect that kind of setup because something has to justify how cruel the sons get, because they do just turn evil basically, like straight up, almost like basically irredeemably evil as far as like their behavior at the time goes. Like obviously Myst 4 is about redeeming one of them. It's the question of whether or not they can be redeemed and so on, and they reinterrogate that. But Myst 3 just kind of further builds up the legend of their evil by revisiting them as like villains in their past actions, like just all the more shit that they got up to while they were running free basically and wreaking havoc while Atreus was trapped, if I remember correctly. So like there's a real shift where they just really just do not care about human lives or human-like lives or whatever you want to categorize these different people as. People that all look and act and sound human, but they're from all these different worlds, so who knows what they're technically called. Or maybe all the people in all the different worlds are human, literally, as in like the same, they were all seeded by the same species, but then became like a bunch of disparate civilizations. I don't know. It feels like it might be that, given how much the Denis got everywhere, and the Denis also just seem to be human and on Earth. That seems to explain why they're like us. But you definitely expect to find out that they were sort of neglectfully abused, because otherwise, why would they go so cruel? Because it's not easy to justify purely from the standpoint of just like, absolute power corrupts absolutely. They just got the ability to fuck around with worlds, and they immediately started abusing entire populations of people and also attacked their own parents and so on. It just seems like a wild shift from this origin story. Another gift journal from Father. He doesn't quite get that I barely use these. Then again, here I am writing in it. So I guess I shouldn't complain. It's always a kind gesture. This has to be Achenar, right? I didn't see Achenar written on it. Oh yeah, there's Achenar's journal. That's really hard to read. But he's more artsy. Look at all the drawings. My brother was right. The lights in the sky are unbelievable to see firsthand. The way they dance and shimmer behind the clouds fills me with a kind of peace that's hard to put into words. He's really artsy, actually. Sirius paces when he's either trying to work out a difficult problem or when he's upset. Tonight, it's upset pacing. Head down, staring at the floor, big, wide stride. Usually I just let him stew until he sorts it out, but he's been going on for hours like this. Guess I'll just have to be the big brother and talk him through it. Drawings of his pacing, too. Turns out he was upset because he thinks Father's ideas for the crystals are wrong, and he's too nervous to admit it to him. I always knew Father's opinions mattered a lot to Sirius, but he needs to get past this idea that Father can never be wrong. Working outside for too long causes a dull ache behind my eyes. Even the normal light here is off somehow. I'm not sure how they deal with it. Maybe my brother's thick skull blocks it out. Sirius, if you're reading this, that was the joke. Don't go crying to Father. Father asked me to help him design and build a device for cutting the crystals into thin sheets. From the big grin on Sirius's face, it's clear that this was the big idea he was afraid to share. Looks like I was right. Again. This little brat thinks he's being so sneaky. I'm watching you over there, scribbling down your little plans. Look at you. You think no one knows what you're planning, but I do. Guess I'll have to keep an eye on him. Stupid child. Stupid pea-brained idiot. I was right. He snuck out to watch for the stupid whales, slipped and cracked his head on some ice. Could have gone right over the edge if I hadn't been there. Just a bunch of scribbles. Writing just so I have something to put my mind to. His injury seemed severe at first, but after cleaning it, I can see that it isn't serious. A big scrape on his side, and a really good knock on the head were the worst of it. He begged me to not tell Father, as if there was any chance I would. Usually it makes more sense why people are writing, but here it doesn't make that much sense. Why did he go on a rant about his brother hurting himself when he hadn't cleaned him yet? The paragraph in the top left corner is implied to have been written when he found Sirius, but before he tended to his wounds. I'm like, you stopped to write in a journal and then tended to his wounds? Hang on. As clever as he is, Sirius is still just a child. Told Father Sirius felt ill and needed a day to sleep it off. How close are you guys in age? He nodded and immediately asked me to help him with his work. I know he cares for us both, but would it kill him to at least be a little concerned? Okay, so here's a more implication of neglect from the older child, it seems. Though I have to admit it, it was nice to spend the day working together. Just us. It's been a long time since we've done that. Father is absorbed in the final touches of his book device, so I doubt he'll notice if I repurpose some of the leftover parts from the stone ship. I have a little project of my own in mind. Shouldn't take more than a few hours, if I just bolt the entire thing to the railing. Father's device works. Being able to see Channelwood without physically being there is truly unbelievable. For all their kind words about how much I contributed, I know this is more of their achievement than mine. They deserve to be proud. Take a picture of that. Hello. So we have even more colors and numbers and shapes. They both have a bed up here. They do. Oh, it folds up. So one of their cots is up and the other one is down. Which is a clever way of just displaying how it functions. By just kind of showing both versions. Alrighty. Guess this place is all warmed up. It might be colder. I think it's just the lighting. Oh yeah, there's heaters everywhere down here. Or anything along this hallway that isn't just going forward? That is the upside of having... Ooh, it's stuck. Upside of having fixed camera angles is that you can tell what's important and what's not, because the game won't let you look in certain directions. Does it go up? It does go up. I'll have to remember to check both directions. Oh. The lightning rods, it seems. Big ol' moon up there. I got the achievement for triggering the aurora. Oh, was that not there already? Does it cause that? Huh. I can't seem to move these. What? The implementation of mouse controls seems very weird. When I click on it, my mouse won't move. Is it because it's frozen? And does this correlate with the numbers and colors I got before? Oh wait, do I have to... It's because I have to turn this off, isn't it? There goes the aurora. Okay, yeah, you can change it then. Interesting. They made the background kind of scroll as you go, but not in a way where it seems to actually do anything. That 4 is spaced weirdly. It doesn't seem to like change the bandwidth or the wavelength or the amplitude or whatever. It's just kind of scrolling back and forth. These seem unrelated to the numbers I just read. Those are very different numbers in scale. Is this just about being able to customize the colors, maybe? Will the two things I picked both show up? Ah. You get to pick the two-tone colors of the aurora. That might be all this currently does. That might just be for fun. That's one of the funny things about the first Myst, is that there's things that resemble puzzles, but sometimes they just are fun visualizations because they were kind of losing their shit over some of the graphics you could do back then. Like, look what I can do! Crazy! Huh. So it doesn't go down? Where are their devices that are apparently use these numbers? Is it all actually tied to this? Oh, God. Okay, so edit all that out. Edit all of that out. There's a button. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Of course. Is that button there normally? Oh. Yeah, you can see, like, it's like a hole in the wall. So the button must be on this floor, like it's in the wall behind the elevator? As opposed to being part of the controls of the elevator? Yeah. Insane. Some of the stuff that Atreus does is just the most wild, like, ADHD improvised design I've ever seen, where I'm just like, why would you do that? Look at that. You get to pick your own colors for the age. Uh-huh. A cliff you could fall off and die. Oh, there you go. Once again, the returning path reveals there was another way. They're really good at windowing in a way where that it makes it seem like there's nowhere else to go. And then you turn around and you're like, oh. Well, there it is. Oh. Is that a button? Big radar dish looking thing. That does appear to be all that's here, though. It doesn't seem to be anything to do here either. Am I crazy? Okie dokie. Let's go. Oh, is it going to be... Is there a different side to the original floor now? Is that what's the trick is? Yeah, it stayed rotated. Can I go down on this side? Oh, I can. Oh. Okay, so the first side I could only go up, but then I rotate, and then I can go down twice. Okay, well, let's do the first floor. Then I'll come back down to the basement. This shit's crazy. Hello, little flames. Those might just be real flames rendered in 2D. Like video files? Those are trippy. Oh, it's Myst. I guess there's my answer of how to get back. Okay. Is this Atreus' room? Did he just compulsively create secret spaces even when he's just hanging out with his family? And there's no reason to think anyone else is going to be coming to Rime ever. There's dishes in here. Oh, it's Catherine's. Atreus? I understand why viewing Riven is so vital to you. In truth, I have not stopped thinking about my home since the moment we escaped. But no matter how much you insist you're simply ensuring Gen remains trapped there, I see my own sadness when I look into your eyes. Gen is a monster who deserves his imprisonment, but I also know that he will always be your father. Atreus, my love. Do you wish only to affirm that the cage still holds? Or is there something more significant to you that you're searching for? Yours, Catherine. Makes sense. So, he's, it's complicated. Like, his dad's a villain, but, like, on some level you'd want to know... Just being able to observe him, see if he's still alive, see what he's up to, hold out some hope that he might in any way redeem himself. Oh. Little lenses. I move this over to the... I can rotate these, but maybe not very far. Somewhat awkwardly, the controls don't disable my screen from moving. You can move around like in that range. Rime Volume 2, second half of Atreus' journal. Yeah, it's Atreus' office. He received a letter from Catherine. Before spending any more time with my experiments, I've decided that I must finish construction. I have brought both Cirrus and Achenar this time. The shaft is almost finished, as is the observation post. Both boys prefer inside, where it is warm, protected from the cold. Neither of them shows any real desire to leave. I cannot remember the last time my son spent so much time with me in an age. Last night, Cirrus came to me with the hypothesis that may solve the crystal refraction issue entirely. His suggestion involved cutting the crystals into thin lenses before attempting to filter light through them, an idea that came to him while thinking about the properties of my eyeglasses. Even the thought about, like, we don't see things the same way, because he specifically has glasses and his kids don't. I wonder what the chances of that are genetically. Well, Catherine doesn't wear glasses, but Atreus does, but Cirrus and Achenar don't, I believe. If I remember correctly from seeing them in Myst. I can't help but smile at the idea of Cirrus watching me stare through the solution right on my nose. It is an unconventional approach, but his reasoning is sound. With Achenar's help, I believe we can repurpose some of the equipment already in the workroom to fashion these crystal lenses. progress on the lenses is slow, as the crystals are prone to shatter if handled incorrectly. Despite the setbacks, my sons are wholly engrossed in the task, and seeing them work together gives me great hope for the future. I long for the day I can bring them to Denis to see its beauty for themselves. I know they will prove themselves indispensable to any restoration efforts I might undertake. Eventually I will need to tell them about Riven, but there is so much to do before it becomes a concern. The lenses have been completed. Tonight we will return to Myst Island and to Catherine. It has been too long without the warmth of either, and we all deserve a break. While there, I will need to collect some additional linking books. It brings me no joy, but the only way to test the device is to intentionally damage several of them and ensure the device can still create a focused image. We only spent a day with Catherine before returning. I was still working up the courage to ask her for it, but before I could begin speaking, she had placed the book in my hands. It was the waterlogged linking book to Riven I had thrown into the sea the moment we were back in Myst, free of my father. I knew destroying the book was only a symbolic gesture, as the descriptive book still remained in Kavir. But I was young and angry. I remember Catherine swimming out to retrieve it despite my objections. "You should keep it. You may want it later," she told me. At the time, the idea upset me. Why would I want a reminder of that place? But once again, she was right. We said our goodbyes, and I returned to Rime, humbled by her foresight and love, as well as the note she had secretly tucked under the book's cover. It has been several days with no progress. No matter how we alternate the lenses, only the faintest, blurriest image appears. Did I damage the books too severely? Is the number of lenses too few or too many? The number of variables feels insurmountable. The boys find their own methods of encouragement. They have not given up hope. And so, I must follow their example. For now, I have decided to refocus my efforts on the lights in the night sky. Although I originally thought the effect to be an organic one, I now believe it to be electromagnetic in origin. I think the effect could be triggered somehow. It's something that we'll have to try. I doubt either of my sons was expecting the amount of work it would take. It has turned out to be a challenge, working above the cold waters where the wind cuts through the clothing and skin like a sharp knife. Still, even amidst the dark cold, they are driven to complete the task. It is a side of them I have not seen before. The towers are finished. The power they require is conducted directly through the saline sea, alleviating the need for wires and enabling us to locate the towers a comfortable distance away. We are close now. Tomorrow, after adjusting the voltage, we will know just how close. Is that like a nosebleed or something? It looks reddish. Something dripped on there. This morning, as we worked, I noticed Akinar rubbing his eyes and groaning under his breath. Until now, I had simply assumed it was fatigue, but he then asked if either Cirrus or I ever got headaches from how strange the light is compared to the other ages. It took a few moments for the full weight of his observation to hit me. Akinar had inadvertently noticed that the frequency of the visible light in Rime is completely unique to this age. Something so important yet so subtle that has gone unseen thus far. Of course the lenses could not focus the linking panels of the books. They were calibrated assuming a standard frequency range. We shall repurpose the towers to allow the manipulation of the lights in the sky and project it through the lenses, giving us much finer control. We will need to find the correct combined frequency and construct an additional tower to transfer the light to the imagined device. But I believe that work will go quickly. We are so close now, I can feel it. 1400. Another hard day, but we have erected the final tower. I am too tired to write tonight. Tomorrow, we test Akinar's theory. Akinar and Cirrus have some kind of shared secret they are keeping from me. I admit to great curiosity about what it could be, but I believe it is better to let them have something that is theirs alone. Truth be told, I am glad to see them relying on each other more. It's not their impending betrayal, right? No, it would have to be, It would have to be just the fact that he got wounded, and they didn't tell him about it. Let's see. It has taken longer than I could have imagined, but this morning we were able to get a nearly perfect view of an age through its damaged book. It is an incredible sensation, like standing in two worlds at once. It is so much more than I could have done alone. The boys are so proud, and want to return to Myst Island immediately to tell their mother about it, which is just as well. It's time they learned about Riven. And they knew about Riven. It's kind of wild to know that they knew about Riven, but then didn't, and then betrayed their parents. Look at that. Has to be a drawing by Atreus of his family. We have the lenses. Do I interact with these ones directly or other ones? Also, I gotta take a quick break just because the cat outside is losing his goddamn mind about something.